Service to Paddington.
The Elizabeth Line, over a decade in the making. It was named in honour of the late Queen Elizabeth II and is a revolutionary transport project for London. Over the last year, the line has been opening in phases, starting with the core section, followed by the opening of Bond Street, and then the introduction of through running services. The Crossrail project has made a big impression on the capital, so let's delve into the journey of the Elizabeth Line. The core section of the line opened for revenue earning service on the 24th of May 2022. However, the Elizabeth Line has sort of been in service for much longer than that, albeit operating under the TfL Rail brand. This was the case from May 2015, when MTR took control of the metro service between London Liverpool Street and Shenfield, which you'll recognise as the eastern branch of the Elizabeth Line. This route was populated by the Class 345s, more on these later, from June 2017, and by July 2020 these units had begun operating across the western branch. With the launch of the core section, these branches took on the Elizabeth Line name and branding, including station signage and on the units themselves. Numerous stations were upgraded to ensure step-free access from the platform to the street. This means there are plenty of lifts across the network, including some that even travel diagonally. Though be sure to note that step-free train boarding can only be seen in the core section and at the Heathrow terminal stations. Between Paddington and Abbey Wood is a plethora of exceptional architecture, with each station subtly inspired by its local area. The Elizabeth Line's futuristic character is prominent in the extensive tunnels and spacious walkways and platforms. After this video, I really do recommend that you watch some of the design and architecture videos published by the Crossrail project for more insight. I'll put the link to them in the description. But overall, there's no doubt that the top priority for the Elizabeth Line was capacity. We can see this reflected in the rolling stock too. The Class 345s come in 9 carriages per unit, reaching up to 200 metres. The platforms are exceptionally long to accommodate this. If you've got somewhere you need to get to quickly, it really does matter which end of the train you board. These trains are effectively built for the National Rail network, and yet are being operated as a metro service. When I visited the core section last year, there was a dense timetable in operation, with trains arriving every 5 minutes. That's 12 trains per hour, and the frequency has only increased since. On board is what we've come to expect from new commuter trains in the UK. There's air conditioning, digital passenger information screens, a mix of transverse and longitudinal seating, as well as 4 designated wheelchair and accessible areas. At each station and above the platform edge doors are more digital displays with information about the train service. I do appreciate having the screen doors on a busy railway network, and TfL also run video advertisements on the displays that line them. There's a lot to like about the Elizabeth Line, but there's one feature that stood out to me when I had the opportunity to ride along the core section in particular. It's quick. The Class 345's acceleration is impressive, and it feels even more noticeable when you're underground and in the tunnels of the Elizabeth Line. It's just 30 minutes to get from Abbey Wood into Paddington, and 35 to reach Paddington from Heathrow. And to make the latter trip, it's considerably cheaper than taking the Heathrow Express, £12.70 cheaper as of recording. The full timetable, which marks Crossrail's final major milestone, has been in operation since May of this year, therefore concluding the Elizabeth Line journey. And it's been a long journey, not the smoothest process, and one that saw no shortage of setbacks and delays. though by the end of it all, London has a fantastic east to west railway fit for the commuters of the capital. It definitely gets to the train seal of approval. Not that I imagine TfL really mind what I have to say. Anyhow, I've been Seb, and thank you very much for watching To the Trains.